Congressman Matt Gaetz is a Republican representing Florida. He's called for an end to the Mueller investigation, and he joins us now. Congressman, thanks a lot for coming on.
Good to be on.
So we can't learn much, or really anything, about McCabe's testimony before the committee because it was secret.
How ridiculous is that?
Well, I agree with that.
The American people deserve to know whether their taxpayer money was used to go and undermine the President of the United States. The American people deserve to know whether their own FBI was working to undermine the person they elected. And so that's why I think we need to have open hearings, because if there's corruption in this investigation, the best disinfectant is going to be sunshine.
Well, of course, that's right. And conspiracy theories in the absence of transparency are beginning. I mean, you know, no one trusts anyone in Washington all of a sudden, and that might bring back some trust. So one of the key questions, not to put you on the spot, but excuse me, maybe you know the answer. Agent Strzok, who famously had an affair with his coworker, his text messages came to light last week, and in them he talked about a meeting in Andy's office. Did we find out if that Andy is Andrew McCabe?
Well, we did not find out, because despite 8 hours of testimony, that testimony occurred behind closed doors. We'll have Andrew McCabe before the Judiciary Committee tomorrow at 10 a.m., but unfortunately that will also be behind closed doors. It's obvious, though, that it's McCabe. This is the circle of people that were directly involved in the Hillary Clinton email scandal that then migrated over to the Trump investigation, I think as a consequence of their bias. But it's one or the other. Over half the people on the Mueller probe donated to Hillary Clinton or Barack Obama. You've got Weissman, the number 2, praising people for defying orders from the President of the United States, and then Peter Strzok, the very person who may have dressed up this dossier as an intelligence document, going from the Clinton scandal to the Trump investigation, carrying his bias with him, and then actually planning action to undermine the president.
So do we know if the FBI paid for the dossier or any part of the dossier?
We've asked that question of the Attorney General, the FBI director, and Rosenstein, and none of them will tell us. And how arrogant is that, Tucker, that our own government will not tell us if they used our money to go and pay Russians in conjunction with the Democratic Party? This is stuff that you would see in a banana republic, not the United States.
But I'm confused. None of those people is elected by voters. You are elected by voters. This is a democracy. The voters are supposed to be in charge of the way the government operates, correct?
Absolutely.
And yet you, the elected official, can't get answers from the permanent bureaucrats or the appointed officials. How is that?
Well, that's why we're issuing subpoenas, Tucker, and either we will get answers to these subpoenas, we will find out this information and share it with the American people, or we need to start holding the senior officials at the FBI and the Department of Justice in contempt. It's totally unacceptable in a democracy to have the bureaucrats telling the elected representatives of the people that we don't have a right to know whether or not the methods and practices that were utilized were legal, were fair.
It's a subversion of democracy, I agree. Now, your own party agreed to allowing this testimony behind closed doors. You're a Republican, you're one of the younger members. What does the leadership of your party think of you going after them in public on live TV for that decision?
Well, look, I think it was the wrong decision, and I'm not alone. We've had over 20 members of the Judiciary Committee demanding a second special counsel to investigate the Clinton Foundation and the bribes that may still be impacting our national security going forward. And that shows that there is a desire within our caucus to get answers for the people we serve. I can't go back to my district and explain to my voters that, well, we just didn't give any answers, so we gave up. We decided to throw our hands in the air.
Good for you.
That's not fighting.
Good for you. I'm not sure what I think. I'm confused. I mean, I follow it pretty closely, and I still don't know.
The Attorney General can fix all of it, Tucker. The Attorney General has the power to step forward, demand answers, and where we see clear evidence of bias, to shut down the elements of the investigation that are fed by that have led to actions to undermine the president. But it's like we've got an Attorney General who's a spectator at the Department of Justice and not the real leader of that agency.
Congressman, thank you. It's good to see you tonight.
Good to see you.
California town menaced by what